Hey everybody, welcome back to this Tamiya MF-01X Ford Escort Mk.II Rally Kit series. Today we're going to be working on the front axles and also the front dampers and also the body post and bumper. So let's get started. Since we're building this chassis to a high ground clearance setting, we're going to be working on steps 28 and 29. And to get started, we need to find all the parts, and we're going to have F1s right here. And on the left is going to be F11. On the right is going to be F12. So just make sure when you're cutting them off the tree, you know which one is which. On the hardware, we need 2 ball studs, 4 of these kingpins, 2 axles, and also 2 bearings. So I always like to start with putting the ball studs on. So these are going to go underneath, I believe, to the outside hole. Going to be the outside hole. Right, we're going to put these 2 pieces together like this. Before we do that, I need to put a bearing in there and also put a little bit of grease on the axle itself right there in that collar, and push that all the way through. And now we're going to put on the C-hub and then tighten it down with the kingpins, top and bottom. Okay, there's one. There's the other. Going to look like that. Okay, and there we go. All right, for this step, I brought back the chassis. I also have the 2 pins, 2 dog bones, and 2 step screws, and we also need a little bit of grease. So first thing I'm going to do is attach the axles to the lower arm first. And for our high ground clearance setting, we're going to be putting the pin into this hole right here, the upper hole. So I'm going to start that. Going to put a little bit of grease in there. And push it through. Okay, make sure it moves freely. It should look like that. So before we connect it to the front arms, we're going to put the dog bones in. One end is going to go on the out drive right there, and the other end through the axle. There's a hole here, so we probably want to do that side first. Make sure it seats in, and it's going to look like that when you're done. And now we're also going to put the step screw to the upper hole. So it's going to look like that. So now when you're done, it should look something like this. All right. Make sure it goes into the axle and then the outdrive. Make sure it's connected. And when you're done, both sides should look like that. Okay, let's build the dampers and put them on. All right, building the dampers are pretty easy. We've done it for the rear dampers already. Let's go ahead and do it for the front. So the first thing we're going to do is to take the damper body and look for the side with the notch. And then the cap itself has a hole right there. We're going to line those two up like that. Then we're going to take this collar, and you notice there's a pin here. Just need to line it up with the hole and then push that in. Now we need to put on the preload spacer and then the spring. And for this, we're going to push in and we'll turn it counterclockwise like this. There you go. Now it's locked in. Again, take the shock body, the cap, line it up with the hole. Push this collar through. Preload spacer, the spring, and then this, and turn counterclockwise, and there you go. Pretty simple. Now we got the dampers done. All right, I have the chassis back again. We need to find these silver step screws BC1 and also these BD2. We also need to find the F14 spacers, and only the top needs a spacer, the bottom does not. So let's take a quick look. We're going to be screwing the top of the damper there, and then the bottom onto the arm into that hole right there. And then like this, like that. Okay. And then the bottom will go here. Again, for this side, gonna go in like this. Okay, and the final part of this step is to snap on the links right here from the servo onto the ball stud right here. And now you have steering. When the servo moves, it will change the steering now. All right, now we're going to put on the body post and the front bumper. We're going to need these 4 screws right here. If you look at the body post, you can see there's a square right here, and there's also a square right there on the chassis. So all we need to do is to line it up. Okay, that's easy. Now we're going to put the bumpers on, and it's going to go on this side. And there's 4 screws here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's it. Okay, we're done with today's video. We put together the front axles and we mounted it onto the suspension arms. We connected the steering link to the hub here. We built and mounted the dampers, and we also put on the bumpers and body post. So thanks for watching this video. If you got anything out of it, please drop a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.